Greetings one and all, and welcome to Zayfard Plays Civilization Beyond Earth Rising Tides. So yes, in this series I've decided I'm going to try a different game. I'm going to do a bit of Civ Beyond Earth. I actually have to say I'm one of the people that really enjoyed this game. Yes, it just basically does have the feel of a total conversion mod of Civ 5 with some nice little changes. I mean, I do really like the tech web. I loved the affinity system, and I really did enjoy the way that your units would auto-upgrade rather than having to buy new ones. So it's a game, it really did click with me, I really did enjoy it. But because I'd played so much Civ 5 shortly before it was released, I don't know, I burnt out on it far too quickly. However, with the new expansion pack, they have changed things a lot. So, I've given it a bit of a try for about half an hour, and I've thought, you know what, I'd like to share it with the channel. I'm also going to try something else a bit new for this series. I'm actually going to start with a setup video. So this particular video is just going to be setting up the game. Setting up the options, talking through a couple of the new features, and why I choose each thing. Now, if you're not interested in that, that's perfectly fine. Totally understand that. I often, don't watch these videos myself, in all honesty, when it comes to other Let's Plays. So, if you want to just go straight to the meat of the action, I'll put a link in the description, take you straight to episode 1, which should already be out by now. I'm going to try and... I have to do these manually, unfortunately. But I'm going to try them within the... they're going to come out pretty much at the same time, give them like a 30-second gap. So yes, if you want to go to the next video, just hit that link in the description, and we should be ready. Okay, for those who've decided to stick with me, first of all, thank you. It's always nice to have you guys stay with me. We're going to look at the first major differences. Well, I say major. The first differences you'll notice. I haven't shown this, just for speed and convenience, to be honest. I'm going to be going for a standard size map. But one of the nice things they've changed for this that I love, that really suits the way I like to play these 4x games. You can have a random map size, and I love that. I just love going into a game and not knowing anything. To be able to go, I don't know how big the world is, I don't know how many enemies I'm going to have. That's fantastic. Not what I've done for this. I've decided to go more for what should make an interesting series. And I think a standard size map should do that. So that's a normal size world, 8 races. I don't know if that includes me or not. But, well, we'll find out. But I just thought that was worth mentioning, that they now have random map size, and I love that. Next change we'll notice is obviously we have a few new races. I'm going to start from the bottom, because I already know who I'm going to use. We have Integer. I have had a bit of a play with these guys. They seem pretty cool. They seem to be based around Germany. Not 100% sure. They definitely have some Germanic words in there. They have, their nice cool powers, which have, give you boosts to diplomatic capital, and diplomatic capital costs less. So no, it's not a boost, it just costs less on diplomatic capital, which is a new system in the game. As I'm doing this as sort of an intro video, I'll explain diplomatic capital when it comes up, but that is a really nice new feature. I've actually completely redone the diplomacy in this game, so really nice change. We also have Chungsu, which I think is Korean based. I'm not 100% sure on that. My geography's not the greatest, so don't take my word as gospel on that. These guys are very heavily based on covert operations. Covert ops give you science, which is fantastic. It's a really nice idea, and again, I've had a brief look at these guys. I actually was initially going to use these for the playthrough. However, my pronunciation of them, all their cities, is just so bad. I've just gone. No, I'm not going to subject you to my dreadful pronunciations. Next up is the North Sea Alliance. Now they give you boosts to one of the other new features, which is aquatic cities, which is really cool. You can actually have your cities on the water. And I know nothing about this. I know it exists. I haven't played with it. These are the guys I'm going for simply for that. I have no idea how aquatic cities work. I want to have a play with them. And I'm going to share with you guys my my excitement with it, my understanding, my mistakes. You know, so I'm really looking forward to that. The other guys are Alfala. I know nothing about these guys actually. I know they give you a nice city development boost, but I don't think I've actually seen them in any of my playthroughs yet, so yeah, they're a bit of a mystery to me. As I say, I'm going to go for North Sea Alliance. I'm going to start off in the sea, go from there. Now, choose colonists. Again, I think this was here at the base game of this, but the fact you can choose a random colonist, I love that. I just love the random. In fact, actually, can you do a random raise? Did not mean to do that. That was a mistake. And yes, you can do a random race. Well, Zayfard's derping early today. That's how you go backwards. So yes, choose the colonist. So I always enjoy this way of sort of just fine-tuning. In theory, I mean, I've seen lots of different playthroughs. What I've noticed is most people, from when I've watched playthroughs and when I've played myself, choose one specific type of colonist, or one of two, which really suits them. For me, it tends to be culture or science. Now, I'm thinking, because I know that the aquatic cities, because I know that they are... The way they use culture to expand borders is very, very different. They actually don't expand particularly large. I think we're going to go for scientists this time, so we can start playing through the tech web really quickly. I'm just going to take some notes. So yes, what I'm going to be doing, I'm taking notes of what I'm selecting, so I can put that in the description of each game, so, you know, the people who didn't choose to stay with me for this still know what's going on. Okay, so... Again, I always find, for me, tectonic scan, fusion reaction, life form, they're all really useful, but for me, I always go coastal survey or retrograde thrusters. The fusion reactor, there's just no point for me. I always seem to do well with energy. It's health I struggle with in this. Now, I think with a sea-based, retrograde thrusters I don't think will be as useful. So I'm going to go continental survey. Now, just so I can see where everything is. And I know with the aquatic cities you can actually move them. How that works I don't know, but I know you can do that. The starting location is not as important. Okay, so choose our cargo. I'm going to start with a clinic. Yeah, I mean the hydroponics is useful, the lab's really helpful, weapons arsenal is great. I have a suspicion if you choose weapon arsenal you actually get a boat rather than a soldier. I'm not sure. That's almost enough for me to check, but beginning with the worker, I don't think that's going to be as useful at sea. So I am going raw materials. You know, I always like to start with a clinic. I just find it really useful. And of course, the worlds. Now, it's the only thing in this I'm actually going to choose random. You know, we have 3 good worlds, but I like the random. I like not knowing what I'm going to come up against. So that's the world set up. I'm going to hit the start button. So, thank you for joining me for this setup video. If you follow the link in the description, you'll go straight into the first episode, where I will be talking through this. I will be talking through this section, and we'll be getting straight into the gameplay. So, thank you for joining me today, and I do hope you'll join me in the next video in a couple of minutes. But until then, farewell.